All right, my name is B-Walk and welcome back to Copy Your Coin, where I show you how to copy your coin in the fastest growing market in world history. Today, I'm going to talk about EOS, one of the altcoins, and why it should be worth your time considering putting some investment dollars behind it. But before I forget, I want to go right back and I'm gonna ask you again to do three things, fam. I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and again, hit that alert button so that you know when fresh content is coming out for Copy Your Coin. All right, so like I said, I'm talking about EOS, and this is a interesting coin. It's been on the news lately. It's a relatively new coin, but it's been on record as one of the largest ICOs. I think they were able to get one of the biggest ICOs, initial coin offerings that hit the market in recent history, of the market being very young. However, I wanted to talk to you about this coin in particular. A couple of videos ago, I did a talk about altcoins, which is basically any coin outside of Bitcoin. So that's your Ethereum, that's your Cardano, that's your Litecoin, that's your EOS, that's your IOTA, Monero, so on and so forth. And I wanted to take a moment to kind of drill in real quickly, give you a brief summary kind of about what EOS is about, and hopefully this will whet your appetite so that you can kind of do some more research and determine whether or not this is a good investment for you. What I think is going to happen is that it's similar to the internet. Again, like I said before, you had Windows, you had Microsoft and Mac. You had a number of players. There were other computer companies in play as well, but you had a few that rose to the top that are dominant even today in 2018. And you see that obviously Apple's doing well, and so is Microsoft that's doing well as well. So there's going to be room at the top for multiple players. So in my suggestion, in my scenario, again, I'm not a financial planner, but what I would do is I would proportion my portfolio in the cryptocurrency to have multiple winners. So I might pick 4 to 5 coins that I put a little bit of money in and just kind of see how that goes and ride that out. Like I say, I always take a look at the cryptocurrency market by capitalization so you get a good idea. As you can see, EOS right here is currently a market cap of about $4 billion. It's $4.5 billion, I guess, and this is Bitcoin right here is at 108, and you can kind of see what EOS has been doing now. It's been down. The general market has been down. It's about midway between the top 10, and there'll be some other coins that I talk about in here, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea of kind of where it sits in the cryptocurrency market by capitalization. Again, all the websites that I talk about will be linked down in the description, so you'll have an opportunity to take a look at that at your own peruse at your own discretion, obviously. Here's the Bitcoin versus dollar currently right now, and if you recall, I talked about these lines that I drew right here. I had the green trend line I drew here, and then another green trend line, and I said that it was bouncing and it's looking like it was in compression, and that still holds true even right now, as you can see. So Bitcoin, even though it's gone down, it went down all the way here, but it's lifting up even a little bit here, right? So let's look at EOS real quick, and that hasn't been trading very long. It started back here in May, June of earlier this year to get an actual market. However, you can see that the same pattern holds, that it's been doing the same thing, kind of a volatile back and forth, and it looks like we're going to have a breakout. Now, I think it's going to go either up or down, but either way, I think you're going to see some movement. As you can see, the volume has been fairly vigorous, especially coming down here as it's bounced towards this, and it almost works again like a compression on a spring, so that the spring compresses and it jumps either higher or lower. So talking back again about the fundamental aspect. So what is EOS? So if we jump in, and I'll go back. I had this earlier. This is kind of just a real brief description. One of the newest digital currencies to make our list is EOS. Launched in June of 2017. It was created by cryptocurrency pioneer Dan Larimer. Before his work on EOS, Larimer founded the digital currency exchange BitShares, as well as blockchain-based social media platform Steemit. Like other cryptocurrencies on the list, EOS is designed after Ethereum, so it offers a platform on which developers can build decentralized applications. EOS is notable for many other reasons, though. First, its initial coin offering was one of the longest and most profitable in history, ranking in a record $4 billion or so in investor funds through crowdsourcing efforts lasting a year. EOS offers a delegated proof of stake mechanism, which it hopes to be able to offer scalability beyond its competitors. It consists of EOS.io, similar to the operating system of a computer and acting as the blockchain network for the digital currency, as well as EOS coins. EOS is also revolutionary because of its lack of mining mechanism to produce coins. Instead, block producers generate blocks and are rewarded in EOS tokens based on their production rates. Includes a complex system of rules to govern this process, with the idea being that the network will ultimately be more democratic and decentralized than those of other cryptocurrencies. And obviously this is as of July 19th, so this was some months ago. Again, but it kind of gives you an abstract, and there's the article right here, the link on Investopedia, where it says what is EOS, and that points right to here. And again, it gives you another kind of a digested version of kind of information that you can find on the internet. Kind of breaks it down. What I want to point out is how is EOS different. Okay, so while there are already a number of blockchain-based networks like Ethereum, which facilitates decentralized applications, EOS focuses on critical pain points of blockchain and attempts to solve the problem of speed, scalability, and flexibility that often become a bottleneck for such blockchain-based systems. So again, the first cryptocurrency, as everybody knows, is Bitcoin, and that came on the market as a solution for being able to bank the unbanked, being able to do transactions without the intermediaries, and be able to I could send money to somebody halfway across the world for goods and services, and vice versa. They could send it to me, and that would be in a moment of minutes and pennies versus days and tens and twenties of dollars, and maybe $100, $50, whatever, to actually send that money, send that transaction. Since then, though, Bitcoin, as you see, as it's grown in popularity, has become more of a digital gold. And why that has happened is because it's become, as more and more people began to get involved in Bitcoin, it became cost prohibitive to do transactions with it. It became slower. It's doing something like 2 or 3 transactions in a second, where as it gained in popularity, and it was slowing down, where you needed, the more people that get involved, you need to be faster and faster. So these altcoins, the ones that I'm interested in, are very much so enterprise solutions that are trying to solve this issue of how can we create a structure that not only is ubiquitous, but also something that as more people get involved in it, the faster it becomes, not the slower. The less expensive it becomes, not the more expensive. And so that's what EOS is attempting to solve here. They're attempting to offer something that has more scalability, more flexibility, and usability throughout its unique mechanism. So it's using the development and maintenance of DApps, or decentralized apps, through various features. Its ownership structure promotes free usage by the user and eliminates transaction charges, as developers are allowed to utilize resources in proportion to their stake instead of standard pay per transaction model. This also makes it easier for app developers to predict hosting costs and allows them to create effective monetization strategies. So EOS is a way of another approach of trying to do something better than what Bitcoin did, and even what Ethereum did. I would consider this. There's a couple of coins in here. Cardano is one of them that I would consider a third generation cryptocurrency. EOS is one of them. Your first generation was your Bitcoin, again, 2 or 3 transactions. Then you had Ethereum, which developed a smart contract, which basically was able to do not only transactions, but a mechanism so that you could do some again, fundamental transactions, but transactions that just the same, that would be able to do smart things, such as make a payment on an automobile. If you're making payments on your automobile, lease payments on your car, or mortgage payments, they would understand the interest rates and the calculation, simple math, and those type of calculations of amortization over a time frame. So again, EOS is, like I said, would be a third generation, because even when Ethereum came online, Ethereum, again, like I said, Bitcoin was 2 or 3 transactions per second, which is slow. Ethereum was 18 to 20. But EOS is actually, they are saying that they are going to be able to do, let me go to this. They are shooting for 600 transactions per second. Okay, and upwards of that, and obviously to even exceed that, whereas Ethereum is like 15 transactions per second. It's a very, very bold claim, right? So why? So if EOS is at this point, then why isn't it just a runaway the fastest the hit? Why isn't everybody just jumping on the train? Well, because right now it's still in beta. It's still being worked out. This is the idea behind it. And again, that's what it is right now. It's a race to see who's going to be able to solve this issue. Is it going to be Cardano? Is it going to be Bitcoin? Is it going to be Ethereum? Is it going to be EOS? It might be. I don't know. We're going to see. So again, these are the ideas that are behind it. So this is as we look in developing a possibility to invest in this. This is what we're looking at. So bottom line, the potential of EOS seems to be huge as it aims to address the problems linked with standard blockchain-based networks. However, it is still a conceptual initiative which may or may not bear expected fruits. The bold claim of processing 100,000 transactions per second is still questionable by many stalwarts of the blockchain world. The requirement to hold EOS tokens to be eligible to send transactions exposes the participant to volatility. A lot will be worth observing in the near future as the EOS ecosystem takes shape. And so one of the risks, I want to give you an example. So here's a real world time of the risk right now. So we have here on September 17, 2018, attacks on EOS run game show weakness of network. So basically what happened is there was a hack that an individual was able to game this gambling site that was using EOS Bet Online Casino through a Reddit account and was able to get $240,000 worth of tokens stolen, because they were able to exploit, again, like I said, this is in a beta form, part of EOS network. So now they said they basically removed 70% of their bankroll out of their hot wallet and into reserves. Simultaneously, we've increased the maximum win size from 1% to 4% of the bankroll in order to keep the maximum bet size unchanged. They feel like they have done some things that have addressed this issue, and the developers are working on that. But again, like I said, it's in a beta form. So they're still trying to work. They're trying to work through this, and this article points to that. That's a weakness, And as we go on to digital currency, you're familiar that there are issues like that. Okay, so this is not a done deal. That's why it's a competition right now. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies that are saying that we're going to be the solution. So, bottom line, like I said, this is an opportunity again to put a little bit of money with EOS. If you look at the chart, and I told you it's similar to it's similar to Bitcoin in that the same thing is happening with the compression. You see, here's the Bitcoin chart. Again, you can see that compressing right here. It's bouncing between these two lines. And EOS is doing the same thing, albeit at a lower number. It's only $4.88 currently, $4.88. So again, it's worth, in my opinion, possibly looking to put $100 with that, $50 with that, and seeing where that goes, and kind of watching and waiting. Again, it's not going to go. I think at the height it's been as high as what is this? Almost 1550. I think was the high at one time. So it's got 1567. So that was the high. So right now it's at 48. So it's been 3 times the level where it is, and it could go higher. Depends if this becomes the de facto standard. We'll see. But again, it's worth looking into it. Worth kind of diving into this and looking at to make this a relevant part of your portfolio. I know it's on the minds and hearts of a number of big Wall Street players. So this could definitely be a winner in the future. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be one winner. I think you're going to have several winners, and you're going to have some losers. So you don't want to put all your eggs into one basket. Okay. So question of the day. Other than EOS, is there another coin that you'd have that you think that's competitive with this? I know I have some in mind that I'm going to talk about in future videos. Who's a direct competitor? Do you think EOS will do well? Do you think they're going to overtake Bitcoin? It's a possibility. I'm not sure. It could happen. Okay. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time on Copy Your Coin.